Alright, from shooting this little guy before, it has enough power to penetrate the paper, but not that thicker cardstock behind it, unless there's already a hole there, you know, because this is a used target back there. So, this is the little 25 auto one, and of course it's just like the old Colt. These sights are really hard to pick up. You really don't use the sights that much. That one went in because there's a hole in the center of the target up there. See? If that hole wouldn't have been there, I'm holding it with one hand, so I have to pause this while I cock it. I use a tripod. Alright, no. I'm going to aim to the right here, towards that green. So let's line our sights up. See that? It doesn't have the power to penetrate. It's like business card stock. So, this would be good enough for small animals to scare them off. Of course, it says on there, never shoot animals with it. But I'm not just shooting animals, random animals. It's animals that are attacking. Alright, so, you know. And this, to test how powerful this is, I held that 5 inches from my palm and shot my palm right here. And it stings, but it doesn't penetrate. And that's close. I mean, that's close. You know, I held it like this far away and fired. I wouldn't recommend it, but I wanted to see. I certainly am not going to do it with the ones that penetrate through this. But I just wanted to get an idea. Now, why would I get one of these? Well, it's compact. It fits in your hand. It's also like a plastic replica, you know. I mean, so I've shot one of these before, but I've never owned one. But they're similar, you know. The heel type magazine here, which a lot of people don't like. Those were on some of the early Berettas and stuff like that, until they started putting the magazine release up here. What else can I tell you about this thing? Well, I'll do a tabletop review on that. As far as this thing goes pretty far. It's only like 100 and something feet per second, but this little BB will go out there a ways. Again, it's just a small little, you know, BB. They say don't reuse them and stuff, but this one right here, you could reuse it because it didn't damage it at all. Hitting that paper, just bounced off of it. But there you go. I think the reason why they say don't reuse them is because they can crack and stuff like that, and you wouldn't notice it. And then when it smacks it, it could shatter it, and you'd have pieces flying out, and the little jagged edges might cut something. I don't know. I don't know the reason behind it. All right. So, this is the CZ-75D Compact. The way this, with the safety on, the trigger will come all the way, it disengages the trigger. And with this down, it'll fire. I've got it cocked already. I'm going to step back and fire this one too. I like the sights on this one a lot better. 3-dot sights, easy to pick up. It aims a little high, so I'm going to aim a little bit low. Boom! More power. More power. I was aiming somewhere down here. This is a used target, so I don't know exactly where that went, but anyway, yeah. This one, 200 and something feet per second, a little bit more power. This is probably what I'll be packing. The ideal one for dog deterrent. Because it can fit in my pocket. Same way with that little one. The little 25 auto will fit in my pocket also. Any pocket. And you can see with this one. The only thing about this one, the hammer, you know, you can practice. trigger pull and release and stuff like that, with the safety on, and it, or off, and that not cocked. Easy wipe on and off. I'll do a tabletop of the rest of this, but yeah, I like it. Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, as you can see, I got a variety of sizes and also powers of spring air guns, Airsoft. This one is a replica of a little Colt 25 Auto. A lot of these are licensed by the, one, so exclusive, licensed by Colt, single shot, spring powered action, fast loading, 15 BBs magazine, semi-safety. I think what they mean is semi-automatic, but I mean, you're going to have to slide cock it, so it's really like a bolt action almost. And safety, yeah, it does have a safety. Alright. License exclusive by Colt. And then it's got a pretty good history here. Colt's model 1908 vest pocket 25 ACP, or Model N as it was referred to internally by the Colt factory, is perhaps one of the more interesting Colt models to collect. It was manufactured from 1908 until just after World War II, with the last pistol being shipped in 1948. Throughout production, there were a significant number of standard production and factory-embellished variations of this model. Due to its size and small caliber, there's a relatively high survival rate of vest pocket 25s in better than average condition. Until World War II, the Colt 1908 vest pocket was Colt's fifth most popular model. It was only outperformed by the 1903 32 ACP and the model of 1911 U.S. Army 45 ACP automatic pistols. And the official police and police positive special revolvers, I used to have a police positive, 4 models of which were large military contracts and police orders. So it just comes in this, box here. There's a little cardboard insert and a little bag of BBs, right? And then on a back, it tells you, read the user manual, but there is no user manual. There was no user manual with it. It says it's not a toy, even though it looks like one. And that's because it propels things. It's not a Nerf gun, So with this one, it has the heel type magazine. Sorry, I've been messing with the fireplace. I'm not going to wash my hands again. And you just insert the BBs down here. You really can't, there's no witness holes or anything. There's no way for you to really tell how many you've got in there. But it says it holds 13, and that's about right. All it is just a little piece of, grabbing on a bar back here. It works, though. It works positively. Safety off. You pull the slide all the way back. You really got to pull the slide back. Now, if it were a real one, this is where there'd be a little firing pin hole and everything, but this, it doesn't do that. And then with it on safe, it works. And with it off, I'll have to fire it at that thing over there. All right. All right, that was shot really low. It shot low and to the left. You can see the little system in there. Let me fire one again. I'm not. Yeah, it's hitting the target, but it's a little bit low. The main thing is these are just like the real one. They're atrocious, what we call gutter sights. It's like a little gutter, and the front sight is in there too. These are really hard. By the time you've acquired your front and rear sight on this, with one of these type of guns, the problem you wanted to resolve is either got you or it's too late. What we used to do is something that's known as like tombstoning. So you just get the slide and you get it to where you don't see any other of it, and you put it in the center of mass, and you squeeze the trigger. That's for defensive shooting with a 25 auto. In reality, with a 25 auto, it's a close-up type of weapon. You're not really going to use the sights a lot of times. It's going to be point shooting. And if you know what you're doing, you're going to be aiming for a vital spot, because this 25 ACP doesn't have a lot of power. But in real life, I tested it out, because I had a 25 that I was carrying around as a back pocket pistol one time, and I pulled into, I had a garage. I was renting a place that had a garage that didn't have a front door on it, so it was always open. Pigeons would go in there and make a nest, and they'd crap on my car. So I got back from the range one day, and there was a pigeon sitting directly above the car after I'd pulled in and parked. And I said, that's pretty blatant, that's pretty obvious. Well, they say a 25 ACP won't do much, you know. So I pulled out. I had a Beretta Jetfire 950 25 ACP. I pulled it out. I aimed it at that pigeon, and it went through his chest and through the metal roof. There was a tin roof on the thing. So it had enough power to kill a pigeon. And the reason why these are semi-automatic weapons and everything in real life is because you're not relying on one bullet, you know, to do it. Usually it holds a magazine. You're going to keep squeezing that trigger until the threat stops, or you can get away. It's not a precision type of weapon. The reason why a lot of people would go with a 25 ACP over a 22 long rifle is because of the reliability of center fire over rim fire. That's the main thing. A center fire weapon will misfire a lot less than a rim fire. A rim fire, it depends on centrifugal force for the priming compound to get out in there, and it just, if it's made well, it's fine, but you get more misfires with 22s than you do with 25s. Anyway, that's about it for that one. And let me see if I got enough. Yeah, I haven't run my mouth too much on this. All right, so this one has not, you know, been cocked. So like I said, you've got quite a ways before you hit your release. And then there's not much over travel. There's a little bit, but I mean, this is not a precision, you know. It has an adjustable hopper here where you push that forward and you can give it more upspin and everything. This is a replica, so it's going to try to look like these, you know, the real thing with an extractor, but you really don't have that. This is an adjustable sight. They supply a little Allen wrench with it, you know, for you to adjust. This thing is dead on. I really like the 3-dot sights, man. This really is very easy to pick up. It's much easier to pick up than this one. Although, you know, I was saying this doesn't do much. Man, you get out in the sunlight and that thing starts glowing. I mean, that dot stands out. The problem with this right here, though, is this is a full-size gun. I mean, it's a 1-to-1 replica. This is a compact. I can fit this in a cargo pocket, a coat pocket, and everything else. This one right here, even with a cargo pocket, it's sticking up. I mean, it's sticking out. And I don't want to get a holster, you know, for this and be packing it around, because I might as well be packing the real thing if I'm going to be carrying this. So, like I said, for what I want to do, when a dog is attacking a cat or something, or in here terrorizing stuff, I can either pop him from the balcony, or I'm going to run up on him like I did the last time. I'm not afraid. I ain't afraid of these dogs. You want to attack something, attack me, and I'll attack back. But I don't want to harm the dog, other than I want to harm him enough to give him, you know, a deterrent. Now, yeah, I could use pepper spray too, but the problem with that is it depends on wind conditions, range, and everything else, and that it can easily turn back on you. All right, I hate this stuff. And the gun was floating around on it, and pieces came loose. Styrofoam. I hate that stuff. That's all it. This was the bottom of the box. It was just taped like that. All right. So I ordered a flat dark earth. Does that look like dual tone? Barely. When you look at this, it looks like it's all black. And I went, oh crap, you know, they sent me the wrong one. Well, I'm just going to deal with it, because I wanted flat dark earth, but if it's all black, I'm not going to return it. It's not easy for me to return stuff here. But accessory rail, rubber grip, adjustable hop up, and rear sight. All right. It's made by the same one that made the last one, which I'm happy with that one. 6mm spring action. And then over here, let's see. Try to get this where we can read it here. It's 185 millimeters long. It weighs 503 grams. It shoots 6mm. The magazine is 13. Material is ABS, 0.4 joules or 207 feet per second, 63 meters. All right, so the only issue I had with this one is I have a couple of issues. First, this magazine release. It does eject positively and drop. You see that? The BB running away? It tends to do that. Another thing is, when I put the magazine in, you see you don't have a real strong, a real big magazine catch right here. And it's beveled, so it'll ramp into it. First, let's look at this where I put it back in. You can pull this down, but you basically sit them up here, and this is a little toggle type thing that helps hold them in. And you can go all the way down here with it. It'll take 13 rounds. All right, so when you put it in, you see how that's not positive? I have to push this. There's just a little fitment problem there, just a tiny one. When that's in, then it works. It works fine. Without that in, you go to pull it, it spits BBs everywhere. You're like, ah, crap, See? Oh. That's not a big issue, because like I said, I'm sorry, I'm picking these up down here. I'm not doing tactical magazine changes, where you fired a few rounds and then you got a lull in the action, and you just slap a new magazine in, rather than top one off. I'm not playing airsoft games with these, all right? I have no intention of doing that. It's fun, if you want to do that. See, now I just push it with this, and with my other finger, I push that over until I fix that. It'll probably be, like polishing something over here, or maybe the return spring is not strong enough. I don't know. They say don't disassemble it and everything, but it looks like you can. I've seen people do it. The only thing I would say is, you see how these are rounded and that's pushed in there? I wouldn't, it looks like you would, flat. Just hammer these pins straight through. I'd go this way, pushing that way, because if you push them straight through, I think things would start getting loose. Here or there. But I like that you can, dry fire this if you feel like it. It doesn't exactly feel the same. Here's another minor criticism. This trigger would be really good. I've just been waiting to review this. There's a little seam here that I can feel. Makes it almost feel like a serrated trigger. I don't like that. I'd rather have it smooth, so I'm going to take a little file and smooth that out. But other than that, other than the little, magazine issue that I've got, this thing feels great in hand. All the weight, again, is in the handle, or most of it, so it balances a lot like a real firearm would. If it was loaded with 13 rounds or whatever of 9mm, it'd be heavy. Even with the metal slide down here, tend to offset and balance it. Yeah, they're fun. Now, I have one more coming in, and that's that Uzi. It was about $12. So this is about $28, about the same thing with this $28, and this one was $9. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to do like I do, but I was looking, like I said, mine is for a specific purpose. And that is, a dog, not a little tiny dog. This thing's like a German Shepherd-sized dog, comes through and starts killing cats. If I can intervene, I will. And I'm going to be packing. I'm going to be packing one of these. I'll probably only get one shot. Because it takes quite a bit of effort. to do that. And see, now with this on, the trigger will still go all the way back, but it won't fire. When you click it down, it will fire. Aim at that target over there. Ting! That's it going through that paper and hitting that metal back there. So if it does that kind of a noise, that's going to leave an impression on a bad dog. And that's all I really want to do. All right, here's a little manual to come with the, it describes all the different things. It tells you not to do all this. Make sure of your backdrop. Don't shoot this way because it'll curve that way. Don't turn it gangster. Don't do this. I've seen people do that on actual firearms. Oh, I wonder what's down here with it when it jams. When it misfires and stuff. Crazy. If you ever work or frequent a public pistol range or rifle range, you'll see a lot of stupid stuff going on. Unless you've got a really good range officer there, you'll see a lot of stupid stuff. So this right here allows you to adjust the hop up, on there. So far, this one's pretty good. It's a little bit high at close range, but that'll help, I think, with distance. I haven't fired this one from the balcony yet. It's been pretty cold. You can get all these little accessories. This is basically what I have right here. And I have a bunch of these targets. I just haven't found them yet. They're hiding again. But yeah, pretty cool. These are pretty cool. And if you're ever stuck indoors, or if you've got a small place, I've got the smallest apartment apartment in the complex here. I'm not the only one. There's a couple. The one below me is the same size, but you don't need a lot of range. I wouldn't recommend this one for indoor unless you use something like a pillow and a piece of paper in front of it. You can salvage these by not having them hit metal, like Gizmo was talking about. You can set up backdrops that will catch the bullet without. A good one is wadded up plastic, plastic bags, even shopping bags. You just put a bunch of back there, and you just have a little, paper target. Pow! You go through it, and I think you could reuse it, but they don't recommend them, and they're so inexpensive. You really don't have to recycle these BBs. They're fairly inexpensive, and a lot of fun. So there. I'll do an initial impressions or whatever of the mini Uzi when it comes in. It'll probably be here within a week or so, and that's about all I've got on this. They're a lot of fun. I'd highly recommend it. You don't have to get into airsoft games, to do this. It's good for replicas. Like this guy right here. If I wanted this CZ, I can get it from my pawn shop, $800 and something. And the CZ, this one right here, man, it's almost like $1,000 or more for one of these. $28, which gives you an idea. Is this too big for you to pack around? Yeah. Is this too big for me to pack around? No. This would have been what I would have gotten. And one of these, yeah, I used to own 25 autos. Like I said, I wish I still had them. The ones that I had, but that's life. We call these mouse guns back in the day. They're better than nothing type of thing. Aim for the eye sockets type of weapon. But there you go. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.